So how does it get any better? घर पे हैं.
Hello.
Hello.
Vijay.
Vijay, your voice is cracking.
Your voice is cracking, Vijay. ये हेडफोन निकाल के देखो, without headphone try.
Very good evening. Yeah. Hello. Now you are able to hear? Hello.
No.
Now can you hear? No.
नरेश भाई, आपकी जो पिक्चर दोनों की जो आपने फाउंडेशन में डाला, बढ़िया पिक्चर है वो.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Very elegant.
Thank you.
Very nice.
A friend had come home and she kind of insisted कि आपकी फोटो लेनी है दोनों की.
बड़ी अच्छी.
She took the photograph and then sent it to us.
Very nice picture.
I think Vijay said good evening and we have started recording.
Huh?
Good evening, we have started recording.
Hello. Hi, Vijay. Good evening.
Yeah, call has started.
Are we starting now, Vijay?
Yeah, he started recording, sir.
Okay. Okay, so. Okay.
Vijay, your voice is absolutely unaudible. It's not audible at all. There's something wrong with either the headphones or the jack.
Yes. Something is not okay. Okay, so can I start, Vijay? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Today we're talking about a topic which is honoring of bodies. So, we all have bodies. And if we didn't have bodies, then we wouldn't be here. We would be being talked about in the entity class somewhere. So as we have a body, they're not talking about us. They're talking about entities. Now, in this reality, and in most religions and most spiritual modalities of spiritual whatever, they say that the body is the cause of all sins. The body is the cause of all problems. So you got to get rid of your body. When you get rid of your body, then you go to the entity class. Okay, so we can't do that. So we have to be here and we have a body. So we need to see what is this all about. So the thing is that we in our embodiment here on this planet are here with a body in this reality. And we have a choice of using this body along with us to create magic, or avoiding the body, neglecting the body, pushing the body under the carpet and just thinking that you are everyone and everything and you can create everything in your life. So basically, we are infinite beings and we have a body. But what we do is that most of us hate our bodies and every one of us judge our bodies. So we hate our bodies and we judge our bodies. And then the only time we acknowledge the existence of our body is when there is some pain, some illness, some disease, And then you say, what is this body? You are this thing. If I didn't have a body, I wouldn't have all these problems. If you didn't have a body, you wouldn't be here. So what I would like you to put across to you that we have a body which is a gift to us. And the purpose for giving us this body is so that we can have fun and joy in our lives with our bodies. But these spiritual modalities and religion, they said, no, no, don't use your body, or just do, you are the infinite being, you should evolve. Infinite being is already evolved, the body needs to be evolved. We have to take care of our bodies. We have to, I give this example that if your body was a dog, it would run away after 1 week. It won't stay with you, the way we treat our body. Now, I would just like to ask all of you, how many of you ever have said hello to your bodies? Hello, body. Good morning. How are you today? Have you ever said that to your body? Anyone? No one? I'm sure some people who are switched the video off.
Once in a while, yes.
Once in a while, yes. True, it is, yeah. So, you have this body who is with you constantly, continuously for 24 hours a day. You do everything with that body. You get up with that body, you sleep with that body, you go to work with the body, you have a bath with your body, you eat with your body. You do everything with your body, but we don't acknowledge it, its existence. So imagine if you have a very close friend and you spend all your time together and you don't even acknowledge that friend. You don't say hello to the friend. You say hi. You never say hi to your friend. How is that friend going to feel about you? Not too kindly, isn't it? So we need to be kind towards our body. We need to acknowledge, first of all, acknowledge the existence of our body. And then be kind to the body. The body is a gift. I'm saying it again. The body is a gift to us to allow us to have fun and joy. But we look at our body, oh, I'm so fat, I'm so ugly, I'm so I'm so fat, I'm too thin, I've got pain here, I've got pain there. That's the only thing you talk about. No one is happy having a body. Hey, body, how are you? And what can we do today? Never. We don't say that. We're not enthusiastic about having a body. Even if some of us acknowledge the existence of a body, we say, yeah, we have a body. But the enthusiasm that we should have or could have with a body is missing. So what will it take for all of us to display not only kindness towards our body, but also some sort of an enthusiasm towards our body? So the bodies feel, yeah, my God, yes, there is someone who's asking for us, someone who's saying hello to us. And if you start to connect with your body, you can actually take your body along with you on this journey that you have on this planet. Your body is a sensory organism. It is constantly giving you information. Every moment of the day, the body is talking to you. It doesn't talk to you in English or Marathi or Kannada or whatever. It talks to you by energetic means. And if you were to listen to your body, you'd get a lot of information. For example, some of you may have had the experience that when there is something not very nice that's going to show up, you have a little bit of a queasiness in your stomach, in your abdomen. You feel a little different. That is the body trying to indicate to you that everything is not okay. So your body is constantly talking to us if we are willing to listen to it. When we don't listen to it, then it starts to create allergies and eruptions on your body, and it starts to do all those things. And if you still don't listen to it, then it starts to give you pain. And if you still don't listen to it, then it starts to give you diseases and illnesses. All it wants is for you to acknowledge its existence, say hello, be friends with it, and take it along on this beautiful journey that you are on. And this beautiful body of ours has its own consciousness and awareness. And its consciousness and awareness is not our consciousness and awareness. It's the body's consciousness and awareness. And the body's consciousness and awareness is different from ours. And if you ever have the opportunity of listening to the awareness of a body or of yours, I'd always recommend go for the body, the awareness of the body. Because the awareness of the body is more honest because it doesn't have a mind. We have a mind which modifies everything that we get. Are you getting it? So the first thing that comes to your mind ever, whenever you ask a question, the instantaneous response that you get is an awareness that normally will come from your body. And then you start to question it. No, but how is it possible? This is not possible. That's not possible. Then you start, your mind comes in and then you ruin everything. If you can connect with your bodies, be friends with your bodies, and be kind to your body will create such magic for you. And if you can just take a moment and see that in this world, in this physical reality which we live in, if we didn't have a body, you wouldn't have to eat. If you didn't have a body, you wouldn't have to wear clothes. You won't require a house. You won't require a car to travel from place A to place B. But whenever we choose to do these things, we never ask our body. So the essence is that if you want to befriend your body and take it along on the journey that you have to engage with your bodies. And what does engaging with the body means? You ask the body questions. But we don't ask questions. We tell the body. We tell the body that we go to do yoga. Because you have read somewhere that yoga is the best way to keep your body flexible and healthy. So you choose that I will do yoga every day. Now, once you choose to do yoga every day, when you choose to go for yoga every day, you will find that it's like having Chinese for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day throughout your life. It's not very, sometimes you like to have a dosa, sometimes you want to have some puri aloo, you want to have some dal, you want to have rice, you want to have sambar, you want to have whatever, a pizza, or whatever, you want variety in your life. Similarly, when your body, you have to exercise your body and you want to take your body along to do exercise, you firstly don't say exercise because body doesn't like to exercise. Bodies like to play. Bodies like to have fun. So ask the body, hey body, what movement would you like to do today? The body may say, oh, I want to go for a swim. So, okay, let's go for a swim today. The next day it may want to go to the gym. And the third day it may want to do yoga. The fourth day it may want to go for a dance class. The fifth day it may just want to slumber in bed. So slumber in bed. And here I would like you to just acknowledge that besides you and your body, there is no one in this world who knows more than what is right and what will work for you. You may hear as many dietitians, you may hear as many gurus, you may hear as many Ramdevs, you may hear anyone, and they will keep telling you what to do, what to eat, what not to eat, how much to exercise and not exercise. But the only persons who can actually tell you what is good for you and will work for you is you and your beautiful body. And no one else. But then you have to make friends with your body. You have to take your body along on this journey. And when you're taking your body along on this journey, just be kind to it. Ask it, hey body, good morning. Okay, another thing, when you eat, do we eat when you're hungry or do we eat when it's breakfast, lunch and dinner time? We eat when it's time to eat. No, we don't eat when you're hungry. You won't find this happening in the forest or in the sea. There is no clock hanging, dangling in the sea which tells that now it's 8 o'clock in the morning, time to have breakfast. A fish should eat another fish when it feels hungry. When it's not hungry, it will not eat. But we like to eat as per the timing. And it has been made regulated here for us because of all the other things that are going around. But you have the choice of not eating when you're not hungry. Ask the body, are you hungry? If it says yes, okay, body, what would you like to eat? Would you like to have idli? Would you like to have dosa? Would you like to have rava dosa? Would you like to have pav bhaji? Would you like to have, what would you like to eat? You would like to have an omelette, sausages, ham? What would you like to have? Ask the body and eat that. Ask the body what it wants to eat and eat what the body requires and wants to eat. If you eat what the body requires to eat, the body will be exuberant and will be enthusiastic in the meal that you have. And that meal that you have, which the body wants to have, will contribute to you and your body in such beautiful ways. Okay, so please remember, and even for the gym and all this thing, exercising and all, you got, I know, gym trainers and other trainers who tell you do this, do that. Like I remember when Dane came to Access and he used to exercise, go to the gym for 90 minutes every day. Gary once just asked him, he said, Dane, how much do you think you need to exercise every day to stay fit? And Dane said, oh, I think maybe 90 minutes a week. The way he was doing 90 minutes a day, his body really required just 90 minutes a week to exercise. So now, if he exercises every day, and what he exercises what the body wants to exercise and what he wants to exercise. And not what he's decided is the way it should be exercised. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? You have to honor your body. And every body is different, as is yours. So ask your body what exercise would like. Ask it what it like to eat. You go have a bath and you come back and you stand in front of a wardrobe and ask, hey body, what do you like to wear today? And it goes to a dress that you had bought 4 years ago and you never looked at it. And you say, that? Body says, yes. You take that out, wear that dress, the body will be vibrating and enthusiastic. You look good and people will just keep paying compliments to you. You'll get noticed by everyone. You know, you go to the market to buy a shower gel or a shampoo. Do you ever ask the body, hey body, would you like this? Would you like me to apply this shower gel on you? Would you be happy if I use this? You just go and buy the one which is most advertised by the most beautiful woman or man or whoever, and you buy that. We don't ask the body anything. We never ask a body question. We don't engage with our bodies. So if you want to be in shape, if you want to be healthy, you have to ask your body what it would like to eat and eat only what the body would like to eat. That's an honoring of your body. And when you're eating, you eat consciously. We don't eat consciously. At least I never used to eat consciously before I came to Access. I remember we used to go out for a family dinner. And after and if it was a Chinese place where we went to, after everyone, 7, 8 of us, they all finished, and there was a bowl of noodles lying in the middle, and I'd say, has everyone done? They'd say, oh, yes. So I then take it and I'd just put it in me like a garbage dump. But if you eat consciously, eating consciously means that when you're eating, and you know, in the Indian scriptures and all, it is very beautifully documented how you should eat. You should be at peace, resting. Take a little deep breaths, and then when you eat, put one morsel of food in your mouth. And when you're doing that, don't look at TV, don't look at your mobile, don't talk, don't do anything. Just be with the food and your body. And let your body relish the flavors, the temperature, the coarseness, softness of the food morsel that you put in your mouth. Let it cherish it. And once that one morsel is over, then you put another morsel in your mouth deliberately. Not just that, cut. That's not the way to eat. The way to eat is to be deliberate and slow in eating your food. Let your body enjoy the food. And you will notice that the amount of food that you require to eat goes down substantially. And when you're eating and putting those morsels in your mouth, moment the taste of your food changes, that's the body telling you, I've had enough, thank you very much. But you'll say, I've got so much left in my plate, what will happen to the hungry children in China? It'll say, forget it. And as you go along, you will find that you will automatically start putting lesser food in your plate than what you did earlier. I mean, I can share with you that today, in the 9 years that I've been in Access, I eat 1/10 of the food I used to eat before I got into Access. 1/10 I eat my food consumption. You don't need so much of food. In fact, we have so much of energy in our mitochondrial cells in our body that we can run a city of Hyderabad, Delhi, Bombay or something for 3 months. And we said, I'm drained of energy, I'm hungry. No, you're not. You need to take food as a homeopathic dose to free the energy that is there in your mitochondrial cells. That's all you need to do. So if you have any questions about eating, I can take them on separately. But I just want to tell you that if you were to eat consciously, eat just what your body wants to eat, and as much as your body wants to eat, you will never put on weight. You will be the weight that your body requires you to be. For the last 6 years, I have never stood on a weighing machine. And we go and stay in hotels and all where there are weighing machines everywhere. But I have never ever stood on a weighing machine. Because that's a beautiful instrument to control you. Your height is so much, you should weigh so much. Who says that? Every body is different. All I know is that when I got into Access, my trouser waist used to be 40, size 48, whatever it was. And it came down to 42, came down to 40, then it came to 42, and now after the locket, it has gone up to 44. But I don't weigh myself still. Why do you have to weigh yourself? Oh, I went for a dinner, I came back, I was 0.75 grams heavier. So what? Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So you can control how much food you eat, and you can actually take care of your body by just listening to your body. And same thing with exercises. I know of people who are friends in and outside Access also, mostly outside Access, who run 10 to 15 miles every day. Their ligaments are torn, they have problems with their ankles, they can't walk, but they will have to run because they have said that unless they run 15 miles a day, they are not good enough. For what? Good enough for what? So I had a beautiful Access facilitator, BAS facilitator in Australia, my first BAS facilitator in 2011. And she used to say that she used to do yoga every day. You must have met her if you've been to Australia, Maiva Dolly. She's a wonderful Japanese Hawaiian lady. So she used to do yoga every day. And every 2-3 weeks, she had to go to a chiropractor to get her spine, sort of sorted out because of all the things that you do in yoga. And then she one day asked the body, hey, body, would you like to do yoga? The body said, no. So she asked the body, what would you like to do? The body said, I like to lounge in a lounge chair on the beach. And the house was next to the beach in Australia. So she put a lounge chair in a car, drove up to the beach and put it down there. And she lay down there for 1 hour every day. and the body would take in the sun and the breeze, and occasionally go in the ocean to have a swim and come back. So one day she was lying like this, and she saw a group of coast guards who were exercising. So she just spoke to her body. She said, "Hey, body, can you duplicate the exercises that they are doing there?" The body said, "Yes." So those Coast Guard people were exercising, and her body was picking up those muscles and exercising those muscles, even though she was just lying on a lounge chair. And if you see her now, she's thin, frail, but got good muscles. I'm just giving you an extreme example. I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying that your body is so aware, so sensitive, it will respond to everything you say if you ask it to.
Maiva is amazing.
My wife is amazing, yeah. And she's got so much of energy in her, you know. So that is the thing I would like you to know, that you all have this ability to speak to your bodies and make your bodies be and feel how they would like to be and feel. Then when you want to take care of your health of your body. Now, I don't know how many of you take supplements. At this age, or whatever age you think I am, I don't know. I don't take any supplements. In fact, whenever I go to Australia or something, I go to a big chemist shop, I stand in front of the wall, which has got all the supplements there, and I keep admiring the supplements, and I tell my body, okay, body, take in all the supplements that you require here energetically. So that lady will come and say, can I help you with something? I said, no, I'm just admiring the vast expanse of supplements that you have. Wow, never seen such things. And I just taken all the supplements that my body needs. Originally, when our bodies were created trillions of years ago, there was no digestive system. Our bodies just walked in the forest, and it picked up all the energy it required from the plants and trees around. And then, of course, Eve bit the apple and ruined everything. We got the digestive system. I mean, that's we got it somewhere earlier. But the point is that the body was created so that it doesn't need to eat so much. Energy. And you know, energy is the form of the actual form that communicates with everything, everywhere. It's all energetic. So we don't need to eat food. We just can just and enjoy you see, I don't know, people have green tea, people have some funny new types of, instead of using, you know, flour and maida and besan, they use some funny imported things, you know, quinoa or something. That's not what you need. Ask your body. I enjoy having, and it's just my point of view, I enjoy having a paratha with malai and makhan and chai. It's so wonderful. The body nourishes, it's so enjoyable. So don't go by all these fads. These are fads. When people tell you do this, do that, then please be aware. I used to be a Ramdev follower. I used to do Alom Balom for 2 years. I never drank Coca-Cola for 2 years because he said Coca-Cola is a toilet cleaner. So I never drank it. And I love Coca-Cola. So now I drink Coca-Cola, my toilet gets cleaned inside only. I don't have to bother. Why do you have to listen to these guys? They are just selling stuff, okay? Listen to what your body requires. Ask your body. So, if there are any question, do you have some time, Vijay, or we can? Vijay, do you have? Huh?
Yes, we have time.
Okay.
For 15 minutes.
Okay.
15 minutes.
Okay. So, if you have illnesses and diseases show up in your body, the illnesses and diseases are showing up in your body because you have created them. The body, the way it looks, has been created by our judgments. And you can change the way your body looks. Because it is all our creation. The way it looks, all the illnesses, diseases, everything that is there in the body, we have created. Because we are not in tune with our body. We are not honoring our body. We're not kind to the body. We're not listening to our body. And therefore we get all these things which really create problem for us. And then we have to go running to a doctor and get medicines and everything. Now here also I'd like to say that when you have a problem show up, ask your body, hey body, what is this? Can we change it? If so, how can we change it? And then ask the body, do you think with this condition we need to go to a doctor? If you get a yes, go to a doctor. And when the doctor gives 10 medicines, because they have to, cover the whole thing, they don't want to be sued, later on that you didn't give this medicine, you didn't give that medicine. So they'll list out 10 or 12 medicines. So then you ask your body, which medicines would you like to eat? And only eat the medicines that the body wants to eat. And I'll give you an example here of Smriti Shivdasani. You all know her. She was going through a very serious thing of cancer. And sometime last year, the doctor was giving her 12, 13 medicines and she was very fed up. So she said, I don't want to do all this. She never ate sugar for 3 years. She started eating sugar. Then she asked her body, which medicines would you like to have? And the body only wanted She's so beautifully fit. So the doctors don't know the best for you. But that doesn't mean that you don't go to a doctor. If your body requires you to go to a doctor, please go. But do everything you do with being kind and asking the body. If your body wants to go for a walk, please go for a walk. Are you getting it? Don't again impose your likes or dislikes or points of views of the bodies. So let the body flourish and bloom. And then, of course, we know that we have something called sexualness in us. Every person has sexualness. Every animal has sexualness. Every plant has sexualness. But in this reality, our parents, when we were children, block our sexualness. They don't let us let that sexualness flow. And what is sexualness? It is the energetic, creative, nurturing, caring energies that we have, the orgasmic energies that we have, and we block them. If you let those energies just flow, your body will become soft and beautiful to look at. And this is one thing I'd like to share with you, that in Access, traveling all over, I've come across thousands of people who are in Access. And what I found that all of them, they had beautiful bodies. There's a lot of sexualness flowing, which is such an invitation, to everyone. So let the sexualness in your body flow. And imagine if you lived your life where every moment of your life you're living is an orgasmic experience. You have a cup of coffee and it's an orgasmic experience to you. You take the first bite of a ghee masala dosa and it's an orgasmic experience for you. If the whole life you are living moment to moment as an orgasmic experience, an orgasmic experience is a creative and generative energy. Will you ever start to get old? Will you ever start to decay and die? No. So just allow your body to be who the body is, the sexualness that it has. Let it flow in the body. Be the sexualness that your body is and listen to your body. Okay? Wear clothes that the body wants to wear. Even when you're working on a job, ask your body, I'm getting a job here. Take the body along to the thing. Do you like this place? Would you be happy if I worked here? If you get a yes, please go. Take the job. If you get a no, give it another thought. Because ultimately your body is going to be sitting there with you in that office or wherever you're going to work. So just involve your body in every decision. If you're buying a house, don't buy the house that is the most convenient, nearest to the airport, nearest to the metro, nearest to the market, nearest to the school, nearest to everything, nearest to everything. Ask your body, would you love to live in this house? Would you be comfortable living here? Would you feel safe living here? Will it be fun for you to live here? Only then buy that house or rent that house. And same thing with buying a car. Ask your body. Do you ever ask the body, hey body, would you like this car or this car or this car? And buy the car that the body wants you to buy. I'm not being frivolous. I'm being very, very serious there. If you were to just consult your body and ask your body what they would like to have, what car they would like to travel in, where they'd like to live, your body will be happy. You'll be happy. And when you get up in the morning, get up and stretch your arms and say, hey, good morning, body. How are you today? And what great and glorious adventure can we do today? And what movement would you like to do? And similarly for eating, what would you like to eat? When would you like to eat? Okay? And you don't have to have 4 meals or 3 meals. Someone says you eat every 15 minutes. Someone says you eat 4 times a day. Someone says some intermittent fasting and some other fasting and that thing and that thing. You ask your body what it would like. Are you getting it? So don't listen to anyone. I listened to my guru before I got into Access. And he told me, if you want to be spiritual, you need to be someone who takes nothing that is grown under the ground. So I became a Jain. Even though I'm wearing a turban, I was a Jain Sardar. And then he said, if you really want to be spiritual, you have to become a vegan. So I became a Jain vegan. And I troubled my family and friends so much because they should keep looking for non-dairy ice cream, How can I have non-dairy cheese, yaar? They used to get it from me and say, oh, it's so tasty. And I used to hate it. But what do? You're putting up an image just to show people. I used to wear canvas shoes, canvas belts. And that was the 2 years for which I was a Jain vegan that I was most ill in my life. So please listen to your bodies. And if your body wants to have a champagne, have it. If it wants to have a beer, have it. If it wants to have vegetarian food, have it. If it wants to have a bit of non-vegetarian, have it. Ask your body. Are you getting it, people? Okay, so now if you have any questions, I'd like to answer. Otherwise, I can just carry on. But let's see if anyone's got any questions, if anyone's got. Anyone? Hello? Any questions?
Sir, why don't you carry on?
I should carry on?
Yes.
How much time do I have? I don't know. Because I was told 45 minutes, so I don't know how much I'll...
Please, sir, I have a question.
Huh?
I have a question for you.
Yes, please.
So, what about the cravings our body has, but we've been told all those cravings, sometimes, like, let's say we have got a craving for an ice cream and it builds out weight. So, if we listen to body...
What does the ice cream do it?
So, my question is, if we have a lot of cravings about one particular food, should we allow that?
Yeah, why not? So
okay. And if we've been fed so far that this would lead to weight gains and all that stuff, so
okay, so firstly I like to tell you the body has a craving for something that you deny it.
Okay.
If you deny the body ice cream, it would love to want to have ice cream, yeah. I wait to go to Delhi or go to Bangalore or Hyderabad where there is that natural ice cream, and I have that natural ice cream. I love it, and I take a double scoop always, never a single scoop.
Okay.
Body will crave things, but don't. What I'm trying to say is that craving can only be suppressed if you give it the food that it requires when it requires it. Then it'll never get into being a craving. And then you eat it as much as your body wants to eat, not more than that.
Okay.
Don't buy into this thing that if you have that, you'll put on weight. See, your points of views create your reality.
Okay. Makes sense.
If you have no point of view that sugar is not may give me diabetes, you have sugar, you won't get diabetic. But if you have a point of view that if I have sugar, I'll become diabetic, you will. Have you got it?
I would like to share during the lockdown, we are
Yes.
having a party every day.
Wonderful. What else?
Eating whatever the body desires,
Yes.
and I have lost 2 kgs and
Wonderful.
2 inches.
How does it get any better than that? Yeah, anyone else? Any question on your body? See, one more thing I'd like to add here is that you have to be in a space of joyfulness. If you are joyful and happy, your body will be joyful and happy. And you can't, a joyful and happy body is difficult for it to get sick and ill and have pain. It's only when you're sad and you're angry or you're upset, then your body starts to get ill. Okay? Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Anything else, anyone? Anything else anyone would like to add? So, like I was saying that you can use energy instead of food. Energy is the first source of, first thing that you can eat, which is most convenient, which you can consume. And if you can live off energy, that's the best. And about, before I came to Access, I'd gone to the Pyramid Valley in Bangalore. And there I met an Australian lady who was a breatharian. She was a breatharian those days for about 20 years. Now it's about 20, maybe 30 years. She's a breatharian and she hasn't eaten at that time for 20 years. She had not eaten anything. And she was so beautiful. She used to speak so beautifully. And she had a class which she would conduct where it taught you how to be a breatharian, that you could eat, you could live without eating food. And at that time I was very keen, so I bought all the CDs and the whole class. It was about a 2-year course we had to do various types of meditation and go from stage to stage to stage to try and become a breatharian so that you don't have to eat anything. We live off breath. So in that whole class, the final major step that you have to take is that you have to go and really connect with your DNA and be in meditation with it and ask your DNA and ask it that in this lifetime, have you been designed to be a breatharian? And only if you get a yes there, can you become or should you become a breatharian? Fortunately for me, it came a no. So I'm happy. Though I tried, but I didn't become a breatharian. But she's an amazing lady. She's all over and she's doing a wonderful job teaching people how to live off breath rather than eating anything. And I follow that as far as, you try, all the ladies here, I'm sure you must be cooking a meal for a party, evening party or dinner. Have you all done that? Yeah? And when you're cooking for that, can you eat that day? No.
No.
Why can't you eat? Because you're taking in everything energetically while cooking. Are you getting it?
This
So
is awesome.
So you enjoy it more next day. So we can actually take in everything energetically. Next time you go to a lovely pastry shop, stand there and take in all the smells of the croissants and all the pastries and all the cakes. And just keep taking in the aroma. Just keep taking it. Just spend 5 minutes standing there. Your body will be quite filled up. It won't need to eat anything after that. Just try it. It's a beautiful experience. So you can meet all the requirements of your body without really eating. Not every day, but quite often. And when you go to a buffet party, you're invited to a buffet, big dinner laid out from salads till the desserts. Just walk from one end to the other and tell your body to take in everything energetically. So you spend about 5 minutes or so walking across, taking in everything energetically. After you finish the desserts, come and take a plate, and then you go and ask the body what would it like to eat. You'll find that you will not be able to put in more than 7 to 8 morsels of food, which your body really requires in your plate. And you'll never overeat. And whatever you will eat will be the food that the body really wants to eat and enjoy it. Are you getting it, people? So that way you can take care of your body. You don't need sophisticated this thing, that thing. Just listen to your body. And your body will have the food that it loves eating, and you'll enjoy that food, and you won't put on weight. You won't get upset. You won't get ill. And when you go to a restaurant to eat, even if it's a restaurant you've been frequenting, go and stand in the door at the restaurant and ask your body, would you like to go and have a meal here today? And if you get a no, please listen to your body, because the body is sensing that maybe the chef is on leave, or maybe there's something wrong with the hygiene in the kitchen. And if you get a no, go to another restaurant. Don't go to a place where the body doesn't want to go. That's how you can use your body. It will respond to you. You ask it questions and it will give you answers. It will give you the awareness of what to do, what not to do. And when you go to sit down there, open the menu card and see the one which seems the lightest, and your body is ready. This, have that. And not the dish that you take every day, every time you go there. Ask your body. Are you getting it, people? So your body is your best friend. Use it like that. Be kind to it. Honor it. Nurture it. And it will never let you down. Ever. In all these years that I've been in Access, I've had no antibiotics, no drugs, nothing. You don't need to. Okay? Yes. So I think it's enough for today. Anyone would like to ask any final question? Any question?
Can I share something, Adi sir?
Yes, please.
So, ever since I've taken your body class and, so many body classes, as a doctor, my perspective about bodies and work, rather than working on bodies, working with bodies has created so much ease for so many of the people who come. So when they come, to the clinic and they're saying dietitian has said ghee mat khao, don't eat that, because you have cardiology problem, and they're so sad. So I asked them, what's true for you will be light and whatever is a lie will be heavy. If you think about ghee, does it make you feel lighter? So suddenly, they're like beaming with joy. I said, go by what the body says, because, next 50 years when the science and research catches up and says that vegetable oils are not good and ghee was good, it would be too late. Yes. So just listen to your body, and they go back very happy, and they actually enjoy their life, because more than the disease, the sadness of their food being taken away kills them.
I put some funny foods they put. I don't know what.
Right. And they come from Bengal and they have to eat idli, and they can't make a sense of that thing. Like, it's not congruent at all to their taste or anything. So it's like, really it works. It has been 4 years since I started to get a sense of, what it is to work with the bodies, and it's an enjoyable experience. Like somebody mentioned, yes, do you talk to your bodies off and on? But now we have started acknowledging that, okay. And I keep telling my friend, my kids also, your body is your only friend.
Yes.
So honor it. Yeah.
Really.
So it's really lovely. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You know, I'd like to compliment all the doctors who are coming to Access. The contribution that they are making to spreading consciousness amongst people. Because when you're a doctor, when you say something, people value it, you know, in this reality. Because you're a doctor, so you've undergone some formal training on healthcare and diseases, and you know the body, how it functions and stuff like that, which we don't know. So when you say something, they listen to you.
Right. And when we have facilitators like you,
Oh,
you know, we are ready to go the next leap. So thank you so much, you know, for the information and awareness.
welcome. Anyone else got any questions? Any questions on you and your body? Okay. I think Vijay, we're done for today.
Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful talk.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here on the call.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
Thank you.
Very,
Thank you so much.
thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much.
Vijay sir, what is the call tomorrow?
Audio is not okay. Okay, bye-bye, everyone. Bye. Have a lovely, lovely life ahead.
Thank you, sir.